Good Monday morning. Good Monday morning. Hi, how are you? Good Monday morning. Yes. Now, I'm your host. That would be me. Why do I say I'm your host? Because, I am the host. So, why do I say I'm your host? I guess that's just the way. So, one time I was talking to my friend Hank Sullivan. Now, if you don't know Hank out there from sea to shining sea or all over the globe, well, you should meet Hank. Hank's running for local office. That's not where I'm starting, but anyhow, you know, Hank lives in Forsyth County, right? Forsyth County, Georgia. And he has written so many substacks about what I'm going to call the corruption in local government and the wasteful spending. And he said, I have to get off the sideline. I really applaud him for that. So he's running for commission. But the point is, Hank said, I miss the old opening. And Diane, hi Diane, how are you? I hope you're well. And I can't remember exactly how, but I'm going to find, let's see, do I have one? All right, that's not it. Where's it at? That's not it. I'll find it somewhere. I have one. Right? I gave most of them away. I'll find one. I have stolen buttons. Remember, I stand with Trump. 2020 stole. You remember that? I gave almost everybody in the state of Georgia a stolen button. And my old microphone right here, I could put it right in the front, and I can't on this one. I'll figure it out. But I will get started here. But I used to say, hi. Well, I didn't say hi. Good morning. I'm BKP. I'm your host. It's time for BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. I am a Ronald Reagan Republican. I support Donald J. Trump for President of the United States. And I know the 2020 election was stolen from the American people. Is that how it used to go? Good morning. How are you? I'm your host. Now, Christmas times are coming. Christmas. I get like this. You'll just have to deal with it, right? So I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Good morning, Diane. By a show of hands, how many of you watched the 60 Minutes interview, right, with Marjorie Taylor Greene last night? Okay, I did. All right. Just saying. By a show of hands, how many of you went to the Benz, as they call it, I guess, downtown Atlanta, to the SEC championship game where Georgia put a stomp on the Tide? How many of you, by a show of hands? Now, I did not have plans to go. I didn't have plans to go. I mean, I was going to watch it from the old television downstairs, and I was going to get a cup of coffee or something, cup of coffee in the big time. Oh, this cup is just for my special friend today. Mornings are better with BKP Politics. And I almost wanted to write Roll Tide. Now, I don't say Roll Tide, but just for my friend, I almost wrote Roll Tide. Yeah. I love competition back and forth. I love that if it stays friendly and fun. I like a good, kiss my ass Alabama fan. I'm okay with that. Georgia fans, kiss. I'm okay with that. As long as it's, I like a good banter back and forth, right? And I will tell you this. I got to get the show started, Diane. We got a lot to do today. But I will tell you this. Nick Saban Just go back to Bill Belichick at the Cleveland Browns and look at that young Nick Saban under the tutelage of Bill Belichick. Go look at it, the Cleveland Browns. And then even the guy in Indiana, do you realize Georgia and Indiana, do you realize how many spots the guy in Indiana, number one seed in the playoffs, Indiana, right? Wasn't that nice? On the sideline with who as an assistant coach? Nick Saban, right? Kirby Smart on the sideline with who? Nick Saban. I mean, I have to tell you, right? So that being said, Friday night, give me number 36, Diane. Diane, how are you today? That's good. I'm glad to hear it. Number 36. So Friday night, I'm sitting here. It's about, I don't know, maybe at 6 o'clock or something. And my son texted me. He sent me a text. He said, Dad, how would you like to go down tomorrow night and watch Gunnar Stockton carve up Alabama? I was out of the clear blue sky, right? I was like, sure, I'll go. Sure. No problem. I'll go. So my son took me to the game. It was nice. I enjoyed it. We had a good time. Now, I'm really happy that Georgia won on many levels because myself, I can survive. My son and his wife, if Georgia would lose, when Georgia loses a game, my son doesn't speak till like Tuesday. That would have been a rough ride home. Like, whoa, this is going to be dangerous. Anyhow, so we go down there. Give me number 37 and 38 and 39. We'll go one at a time there. 37, 38, and then 39 if you don't mind. There you go. Georgia, Alabama, 38. There's Gunnar Stockton. Now stop right there because one of the things I really enjoy is I watched this guy on the sideline down up in Tiger, Georgia, in Rabun County when he was in high school. I watched him play 3 games right from the sideline with I think it was Fannin County, was Union County up there. I can't remember, but I watched right on the sideline. So there you go. That's Gunnar Stockton. And then 39, he was the MVP. There he is, number 39. And then, I'm sorry, you got to jump up to 26, Gunnar. I'm in Georgia, folks. Get over it. This is not going to be a sports report, okay? But get over it, all right? I like college football. There's Gunnar, right? Now, last year, like when I wanted to get rid of the sloth, right? I cannot stand Carson Beck. Cannot stand this guy, right? I wanted rid of him. I wanted Gunnar to play last year. My son was like, Dad, I don't know if Gunnar's ready, and I don't know if he's the guy that's gonna get called up. I don't know. So I really enjoyed, like, at the game Saturday. I kept looking over at my son and saying, if I ever bump into Gunnar, I'm going to tell him you were talking trash about him anyhow. So there you go. Now, so we're going to talk a little more about that. But give me number 53. So we're coming out of the stadium, and my son looks at me and he says, Dad, look to your right. Look to your right. I looked, wait a minute, that was my left. Let me go right. I looked to my right. It's one of those Waymos, right? Driverless cars. 2 of them in Atlanta. He said, Dad, that car doesn't have anybody in it. I looked over, I was like, it was weird. It was weird. So I'm checking off boxes. I'm checking off boxes, baby. I went to the SEC championship game. Georgia put a stomping on Alabama's ass. I will tell you this, okay? Should you say drunk or inebriated? Drunk, right? So Alabama fans leave early. They start leaving early, but when we leave, we're coming down the tunnel. You've been to a stadium, and people are coming down by the thousands, and standing next to the wall every once in a while would be a very inebriated, aka drunk Georgia fan. And it was funny because if an Alabama fan passed them wearing, something that said Alabama, these drunk fans would start barking at them. And hearing an adult bark sober is bad enough. Woof, woof. But a drunk barking, I'm checking off boxes. These are firsts for me, right? So anyhow, I look over in this car and I'm like, no, man, 2 of them, all right, in Atlanta. Driverless cars. Okay, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Indiana, I can't go back there. Indiana wants me. I can't go back there. I can't tell you why, but they are the number 1 seed. Now, as we get started, we're going to get into it. It's going to be an interesting week. Thank you, Diane. Interesting week. I enjoyed the game. I really enjoyed the game, but they are determined. Now, all the networks, we will show you that briefly. But all the networks, they will not stop until they try to take down Pete Hegseth and the groundwork. What they want is they want to go into 2026. They want to go into 2026 with taking down a couple cabinet members, because they want to start 2026 with a couple of Trump cabinet members gone, and then you have to do a recess appointment or something like that, and you've got to try to get 2 more cabinet members or a cabinet member reconfirmed. You still have to go through the same process, and then they could get all that TV time. So 2026, they want a couple cabinet members gone, and they want for this upcoming election, they're laying the groundwork for the impeachment. They will not, and I'll show you in a minute, they will not let this go. If Democrats take control of the House, they are definitely laying the groundwork for the impeachment. I'm just telling you, no matter what you think. Number 73, because they want the tape released. They want it released. We will talk about that momentarily. But this is an interesting one. Number 73. Colombia, is that Petro? Seeks probe into bodies washing ashore. Suspects U.S. strikes. So they got bodies washing up ashore. Okay. You know what? I have to tell you. Are kids being killed? I never want to hear about someone being killed, right? I don't want to hear that. But I have to tell you, if this is the way we save our children, well, you know what? How do we know they're sending drugs to America? They're sending them the boats somewhere else. Oh, okay. I guess so. If it's drugs and it's going to kill someone else, I guess. What are they saying? We should go with that? Give me this one here. Not one news network. Now, Friday. This is, give me number 52. 52. Now, I really enjoyed Saturday college football. I really did. Okay, and we'll get into a little more of that and have some fun. It's Christmas month, all month long. It's Christmas. All right, and we're gonna really, we're gonna stuff the stocking this week. I don't know what that, you get stocking stuff, boom, whatever. So, not one. I really enjoyed Saturday. But yesterday, I watched all the propaganda shows, as you well know, all the propaganda shows. And yes, this is December 5th at 6:19 p.m., okay? So it's Friday night after 6 o'clock. Friday night. Saturday, Sunday. I watched all the propaganda shows. I did not hear one. This morning, ABC Early Start, CNN, MS Now, Morning Joe, whatever. Over 20,000 pounds. This is the U.S. Coast Guard. Over 20,000 pounds of cocaine seized by the crew of the USC Coast Guard cutter Monroe, the largest at sea interdiction they caught, you know how I am after 3 syllables, 18 years. The largest nab of cocaine in 18 years. 20,000 pounds. Operation Pacific Viper. This accelerated counter-narcotics operation across the Eastern Pacific and delivered historic results in the fight against narco-terrorists. Our maritime fighting force is leading America's drug interdiction operation, protecting the homeland and keeping deadly drugs out of American communities. This is where defense of America begins. 20,000 pounds apprehended. The largest bust in 18 years. Where's that in the networks, right? Now, this is the Coast Guard. Trump didn't tell them to write that, right? He didn't tell them to write that. Now, I want to explain something here, and we'll move along, because I do have, in all the respect in the world, I really do, because the viewers here are the best in America. Bradley, right? Where is Bradley? Did I not have? Here he is, right? 133. Now, I want to say something about the military that I'm really not behind the scenes. I don't know this factually, but I know it. How did that sound? That didn't make sense, but we'll try to. Admiral told lawmakers everyone on alleged drug boats was on the list of military targets. Now, I want to say this to you, okay? When you become to the level of an admiral, all right, this is not a private. This is not Gomer Pyle, USMC. You know, he didn't just get there. This is not boot camp. This is not a guy that accidentally got his finger on the trigger. All right, this is not. It's not private. This is not a sergeant. This is not the first couple ranks. This is an admiral. This is an admiral. By time you are wearing the medals, the stars and stripes of an admiral, you are well versed and thoroughly understand on engagement. You are. You thoroughly understand engagement. You thoroughly understand illegal orders, right? Now, let me tell you, I thought I brought it over. Maybe I didn't. If I didn't, I didn't. Let's see. Did I? Yeah. Give me a number. I want to come back to this one. Give me 84. All right. Keep this in mind. This admiral did not need, at no time, did he need any of these people to tell him what a legal order, strike, engagement. This was totally to try to scare a level in the military that's maybe not quite ready or doesn't quite understand all the engagement rules. That's why you have different ranks. You see, this admiral did not need any of these people, CIA or any, did not need anyone. The minute this mission was set up, go back to the admiral. The very minute this position was set up in any way whatsoever, at no time, give me, I'm sorry, I should have saved a number for you, Diane. I want to go back to, it's 133. Thank you, Diane. At no time did this admiral need anyone to explain rules of engagement. Wasn't necessary. The law wasn't necessary. The mission, from the very minute that this admiral got, is it Bradley? He got the assignment for this mission from Hegseth, from the Joint Chiefs, Kane, right? Raising Kane. From the very minute he understood the mission, he would have known then. He would have known then. He has access to JAG officers right there. Boom, that close. From the very minute he would have known, can I do this? Can I follow these orders legally? From day one. So I know I have some wonderful viewers and wonderful friends out there that oppose these strikes. Oppose them. I get it. And we don't get in arguments here because I love the audience, and we don't fight about things. And I don't disrespect that you feel these strikes are illegal, whatever. But a war crime? No, that admiral, he didn't roll the dice on his retirement. He didn't roll the dice on his total career in the military. But I will tell you this. The admiral, he is, as you would call, give me 94, he is collateral damage. That's who they want. They want that guy right there. They want him. And they're not going to stop. All the morning shows yesterday, every one of them this morning, 108, we'll maybe look at it a little closer, right? 108, Jim Himes from Connecticut was on all the networks. Oh, we've got to have the complete video released. Now, 118, 117. We know the guy has no cards. As soon as we get back, I want to run through this. We know that Zelensky has no cards. We know that. We'll talk about MTG about 9 o'clock, right? No cards the guy has to play. Are we pulling out of NATO? Are we finished? Is this our exit strategy? Right? Let's see what I have here. Jumping into the next half hour before we go to break. He has not read the plan. We put a lot of time into it. Who is Jared Kushner? Don't forget 120. The Supreme Court has taken up birthright citizenship. Birthright citizenship. And then we're waiting for the Supreme Court to rule on tariffs, Trump's use of tariffs, and we're waiting on the Supreme Court to rule on Trump's ability to fire these department heads. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. Without notice. So we're waiting on that. Let's go with, let's see if I have something here. There is a coup. I think there is a coup brewing in the Georgia Republican Party, Inc. 10 o'clock, the Georgia Hour, number 30. Waltz is still upset. Did you see the daughter got all nasty? Threw the F word all over, then took it down. Waltz is upset. Yes, Franklin called Waltz a retard as he was riding his bicycle by his house. He's all upset. Take a break. We'll be right back after these brief messages. Merry Christmas, baby.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics. I'm telling you, it's a coup. There's a coup. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. It is cold, snow, rainy, no matter where you're at. Something's going on. Unless you're in sunny South Florida. Just be thankful you're not washing up on the shores of Honduras or wherever, right? Wow. Okay. Anyhow. So we got a couple things going on this week. Number one, Friday. Now, every year I tell, and this is for Gary out there, every year I tell what I call my youthful sleigh riding experience as a child. So the children's tune in on Friday. On Friday, I will make sure we have no bad words. We'll do everything we can. And Friday will be there'll be news out there, but Friday will be a much more Christmas focus. And I hope you stay tuned because we're going to have some fun and you'll enjoy it. I know you will. I'm telling you, if he's going to do one of those Bing Crosby specials, right? So the childrens don't even know who Bing Crosby is, folks. I'll tell you what, we won't go Lawrence Welk on you. Woohoo! Boy, was that bad. And we won't go Guy Lombardo rings in the new year. That woke your ass up, right? I got people like, who's Guy Lombardo? Who is, the Lawrence Welk Christmas special? Guy Lombardo ring. This was way before, way before, anyhow, I'm not going to say it because, anyhow, that's Friday. I'm going to tell. Now, Gary loves the story every year. I've told it for years because it's a true story. It's a true childhood story. But he says you tweak it every year in certain ways. It just always makes it, even if you've heard it 100 times, it always makes it interesting. So that's Friday. We're going to have fun. But between now and then, number one, out on the high seas. I love this because out on the high seas. Now, Marjorie says she's not running for anything. That's what she said, right? Well, I have been on this program. I've been on the Georgia Hour. I put markers in Vegas. I mean, my Vegas odds just went down, but I've put a marker in Vegas that she would run. Not really. That she would run for governor of Georgia. She said last night, nope, no governor for me. So, I mean, now let me say this. No, there'll be no bubbles for Lawrence Welk. Get off my damn phone. That's what I liked about New York radio when I was a kid. Talk radio out of New York. Get somebody on there. Bob Grant. Get off my phone, you jerk. Anyhow, where was I at? But if MTG is not running for anything, it's over. I mean, there's no reason really to bring her back unless she's signing a contract to be on CNN or somewhere, right? I don't know, for 2026. Or if they're going to use her as the poster child all through 2026 for the midterms to say, for 50 cents a day, you could buy MTG a cup of coffee and she'll tell you that, whatever. I don't know. So that being said, the storm, it be a brewing. Now, I want to explain something. Give me number 44. I want to get this out of the way. So, Erica Kirk's secret millions inside Turning Point CEO's hidden gold mine and where sudden influx of cash came from. Now, let me say this. First of all, I will always say Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk, the fact that this man was assassinated in this country, regardless of your beliefs, it's always upset me that Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., Bobby Kennedy, John F. Kennedy, Abraham Lincoln, who was the president that died from infection like 14 days after the wound of being shot. But anyhow, the assassination of Charlie Kirk is just, that broke a lot of people's hearts. It was very upsetting. But she is going to do a town hall special on CBS. Now, keep this in mind. CBS sold out. Paramount Plus sold out. Is it David? What's his name? Is it Ellison's son? Is it Ellison's son that bought CBS or anyhow? But anyhow, that being said, CBS, the new news director, is making a move to try to go after Fox News viewers. Now, not conservatives, because that would be me, right? Fox News, I'm not their viewer. But CBS is trying to make a move to go after Fox News viewers. This is all a setup. So Erica's going to go over on CBS and do a town hall. Now, let me just explain a couple things. This was, and I get it, Charlie's Kids. I call them Charlie's Kids, all right? So the organization is a multi-million, $100 million, I don't know what it was, but, it's a multi-million dollar organization. Now, there's two things here. One, she did not go home and assume the role of grieving widow. She didn't, okay? I can't make the judgment on how people grieve, but she did not go home with two little children and assume the role of grieving widow. But I can tell you something. This organization was and still is at the current time so large that Charlie Kirk was what they call key man, right? Key man. If Charlie goes, so goes the organization. So the organization required him to get what's called key man insurance. Guarantee if this is put out there, right? So you sit down with the insurance company. You got to, It doesn't matter if it's Turning Point USA with the children's. It doesn't matter. You do not have an organization. I've been involved in them. There was actually currently not now. I was actually involved in key man insurance and organizations before, and I know how it works. I know exactly how it works. So, when you're the face of the organization, or if something happens to you, it could change the value or the money coming in. You sit down with the insurance company, and the operation gets what's called key man insurance. So there, an assassination was probably higher up, knowing this guy had death threats. There's no way that they ran this organization without a certain level of possible income loss. You can call them donors all day long, but it's income because they eat, pay their bills. Charlie's kids, we got a bunch of Charlie's kids here in Georgia. They pay their bills out of the income they get from this organization. So I don't know how much the key man insurance was for Turning Point, but it was large, very large. Then second, life insurance for her and the children, and her share of the organization. You do not run $100 million, we'll call it that, organization, and you don't have the life insurance, the shares of the organization, and key man insurance in place. I would say, unless Erica wants, just saying, 12 rings, or whatever. I mean, the lady wears the rings, okay? And high dollar to the moon. I would say financially she was set to raise the children. I would say that. So this is an interesting organization. No matter what you do, you go to this segment, you can't knock it. You can't say we knocked the organization. We're just clearing some things up. So CBS is trying to use her to make a move against Fox News viewers, as she's going to be doing a town hall. Don't know what grieving loss like that looks like myself personally. I've seen other people go through it, and this is very unusual to me. I'll just say this is probably the most unusual, in my face, high assassination where the widow has 2 little children and grieving. This is something I don't understand. All right, take that. I just wanted to explain the money situation here. Okay. Charlie Kirk's assassination at Utah Valley University, September 10, thrust the mother of his 2 children into the driver's seat of Turning Point nonprofit. This is an enormous financial network. I mean, you got Joel Osteen. Just saying. Now, take that down. So, let me see what else I want here before I go any further. They want to take out Hegseth, and let's see. I want to spend some time on MTG. Let me see what else I have here. So Russia has already won this war. Okay, let me just run this by you. We know that. Trump rearranged the entire world. I'm hoping 2026 is our year. I really do. because the guy stepped out into the AI, right? Give me number. We've talked about this over and over. President Trump stepped right into AI. Give me number 87. And then he went into the world order. First move, January 21st, AI. And we've talked about that. Humanoids coming your way. The changes. All the money he went around the world and brought into the United States, as he calls investment, selling out our country, is to bring factories here. No tax, free land, data centers, AI, robotics, humanoids. Build your car here. Now, number 88. The world order has changed. Russia wants this area here. Zelensky has never one day has Zelensky accepted. He understands. Give me video, McGregor. Give me video 14.
The truth is, number one, the war is won. Russia has won. If you want to stop the bleeding, if you want to have some sort of impact on how much further the Russians go in terms of absorbing territory, then sit down and admit that the war is over, that they've won, and hammer out some sort of solution. Because if you don't, this nonsense sponsored by MI6, the CIA, and Mossad in Kiev is going to continue. And as it continues, the Russians will move forward until they're confident that they have secured enough space, not just territory, but space, frankly, that allows them to feel secure as a nation.
All right, that's done. The McGregor, Colonel McGregor is done. He's 100% done. They only have one choice. Now give me number 24. All right. They only have one choice, but to, it's it, right? They only have one choice. We must not leave Ukraine and Vladimir alone with these guys. Now, Europe is they're upset, okay? And I'm going to go through some graphics here. Number 50. Zelensky's headed to where? Europe. He doesn't care his people are freezing. He doesn't care that his military-age men have left the country. Zelensky to meet with European leaders as peace talks drag on. They do not drag on. Ukrainian president was expected in London to discuss with leaders of Britain, France, Germany ways of ending conflict against Russia. Now, here's all I'm going to say is when the Europeans start an all-out war, I don't want this rematch, this World War II, now with Germany involved. I don't want our troops to fight against Russia. I don't. I'm not taking their side, but Europe has collapsed. And the reason they're going over to Britain and then Brussels is because he made all kinds of backdoor deals. Remember, I showed you here, you can go research it. He made a 100-year commitment to Britain, the UK. He made a 100-year commitment to the UK. And Stammer and the UK are over there like, wait a minute, you made a 100-year deal with us. So Trump, video 2.
expressing frustration over the lack of breakthrough, and he accuses President Zelensky of not having read the deal without explaining what he means.
So we've been speaking to President Putin, and we've been speaking to Ukrainian leaders, including Zelensky, President Zelensky. And I have to say that I'm a little bit disappointed that President Zelensky hasn't yet read the proposal. That was as of a few hours ago. His people love it, but he hasn't.
Zelensky hasn't even read it. He doesn't care. He does not care. He doesn't care about his people. He doesn't care. 57. Leaked conversation shows Europe's distrust of U.S. in Ukrainian peace talks. Let's run through some graphics here. '67, this is over in Kiev, the Kiev Independent. Trump's disappointed, claims Zelensky hasn't even read the plan. Number 68, Russia launches missile and drone attack on central northern Ukraine, targets energy infrastructure. It's winter. It's winter. Zelensky doesn't care. The poor old people are dying. You're not getting any of that news. They're freezing to death. People are frozen. They have no electricity. They have no energy. They have no lights. This piece of garbage doesn't care. BBC 69. Zelensky set for London talks as Trump claims Ukrainian leader hasn't read latest piece. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's going to London. He doesn't care. Number 70, this is an opinion piece over in Russia Today. I know it's Russia. Trump files for divorce from NATO over Ukraine. This is an interesting article that, you may want to use. Read number 70 there, right? Now, NATO, right? This is an interesting article. Take the time to read it. Remember, yes, NATO number 71 was created in 1949 primarily as a collective defense alliance to counter the Soviet Union expansion. All right? Now, when number 71, when you can get to it, I know you got to change the size. She has to resize it from this right here. But that being said, thank you, Diane. I love this stuff, right? I love when she does that. Yes, NATO, right? Now, when Gorbachev and Reagan, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall, when they broke the Soviet Union, right? Wait a minute. Where's the aggression now? So from the time that NATO was created, and then from the time the USSR collapsed, and don't forget, Ukraine had the largest deposit of Russian nuclear weapons in Europe, largest. Against Russia, since the deal was done, there's two sides to this story. It's not all NATO is great and Russia is the aggressor. This is interesting. They're asking this question over in Russia number 72, the same question I'm asking. If you take time, this is a big one to pay attention to. I've said it over and over. Who the hell is Jared Kushner in the world realignment? Yes, Jared Kushner's been in the world realignment over in Saudi Arabia, right? He's been in the world realignment in Russia. He's been in the world realignment over in Israel. Press review. Kushner emerges in Ukraine talks as world reacts to new U.S. security strategy, right? Syrian-Russian relations remain strained a year after Assad overthrow. Trump's son-in-law Kushner plays a role in Ukraine settlement. This is an article I would go read, even if it's on the Russian, as you would call it, Russian propaganda. I'm going to go through a couple of these rapidly. Some of the graphics here, as this is 88. This is the property, the land, right? Don't forget 89. This is India. He was just over in India. Putin was. Now they have you, while this is going on, they have you looking at none other than Pete Hegseth and these boats. $113, Trump is ready to walk away. $118, Trump is ready to walk away. This is ABC right out of the box this morning. And I think it's important. Let me make sure I don't have any more graphics on this. Here's CNN 136. Zelensky to meet with European leaders. And 140, Zelensky, peace talks with U.S. constructive but not easy. I'm telling you, Vladimir Putin wants rid of this guy. I want him gone. Vladimir Putin wants to clean Ukraine out of the Nazis and corruption. Wait a minute, that's supposed to be us, right? Wants to clean it out of the corruption. That's supposed to be us. Now, before we go to break, I just want to show you this. Don't forget, yesterday was a really good story on Atlanta News First. This lady, 103-year-old, 126, and I forgot to write his name down, 126. Don't forget, yesterday, Pearl Harbor, a 103-year-old veteran recalls Pearl Harbor. He lives in Habersham County, Georgia. The lady from Atlanta News First did a great story, went and sat down with this great World War II veteran. Pearl Harbor Day yesterday. Take a break. We'll be right back.
Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Dave's Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Dave's Chevrolet, Dave's gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
You know, I absolutely cannot stand when a politician tells me something and I just know it's just total BS. I can't stand that. It just goes all through me. A coup be a coming. Georgia GOP Inc. Yes, I see. Number one, it's brewing. Now, I want to go into a couple things here, because we got to get ready for the Georgia hour, but I cannot leave out a couple MTG clips, because MTG is in Georgia. We'll go into the Georgia hour. A couple clips will have to go into this show. Now take that down. Give me number 15. I'm going to want 15, 16, and 17, and wait for my call. Let's start with 15. Now, last week we had an election, and I just want to throw this out here because we've talked about it, and I want to put it out here. Last week we had an election, special election for Tennessee District 7. And Tennessee District 7, as you well know, is a plus 22 R. Matey? Yes, plus 22, right? Republican. Trump won the last representative elected state representative was 21.4, and Trump got 22, a plus 22 Republican in 7. Now, a Democrat, because it was right out of Nashville and we laid it out, a pinkish U, right? So we showed you last week how Tennessee 7, very red, and is turning a little pink outside of Nashville. Not as red as they would like it. And we showed you where the Democrat shaved off with Trump not on the ballot, and the Republican only won by 9. Now, we know, it's off year. If our chairman, Josh McCooney, would say that was a one-off election here in Georgia, but we know that, right? Shaved it down to 9. Now, I just want to show you, because Lisa here, she has done a very good job of putting together a list of 0 to 4. And I have showed you many of these. These are the representatives that the last election, they won 0 to 4%. And I've put on there McKenzie PA 7. I've showed you that multiple times. McKenzie PA 7, Perry PA 10, right? PA 8, that's up in Stroudsburg, right? Where Joey used to get, his dad used to take him to get ice cream. Stroudsburg, where Joe Biden is from. So PA has 1, 2, 3 on the list, right? From 0 to 4% they won last time that are troubling. All right. And you can see the rest of them across the country. Colorado 8, so forth. Now, moving right along, number 16. This one here is plus 4%. Got another Colorado, Keene, New Jersey. Now, Trump's not on the ballot. New York, California, 7+. You can see Luna, Florida, 13, and then number 17. Number 17, 10+, right? 10+. And you can see the ones 10+ there. 13% is the last one there from Arizona. Now, the reason I put that up there with MTG, this weekend and some others. And MTG says video 3.
And she was pretty candid about what she says some of her Republican colleagues really think of the president behind closed doors.
I watched many of my colleagues go from making fun of him, making fun of how he talks, making fun of me constantly for supporting him, to when he won the primary in 2024, they all started, excuse my language, Leslie, kissing his ass and decided to put on a MAGA hat for the first time.
I could give you a list. Rent a Brother, right in Atlanta, right? Rent a Brother. Shelley Winters, right in Atlanta. I could give you, look, if you don't like her, okay. But one thing we always put to the forefront of this program right here is we do not use a criteria of do we like someone. We don't. We only use did they just tell the truth? Are they telling you the truth? That's the only criteria for this program. Do you know how many times I've played Morning Joe clips or clips off CNN where, what have I told you? Well, whether you like it or not, here's a little nugget. It's called a nugget of truth, right? I could show you all across the state of Georgia. Give me 77. Did I even say good morning on BKP? Welcome back. VoiceOfRuralAmerica.com. Good morning, Diane. If I did not do that, hi. So, MAGA whispers. MTG reveals what GOP colleagues really say about Trump before melting down at Leslie Stahl. Now, this being said, she just told you the truth. She just told you the truth behind closed doors. They started wearing a MAGA hat. The polling was in. We better, Now, the same thing is taking place right now, whether you believe me or not. The same place they're running. When they went up, they did. She's right. Behind his back, they made fun of him. I know people that have personally done it. I have watched the Georgia GOP Inc. just right here in my state pretend to be MAGA. I know the ones in Atlanta that pretended to be MAGA. I mean, the guy just went through the RICO case, the former chairman of the Georgia GOP, friggin' David Schaefer right here in Georgia. I mean, I think he was only MAGA thinking if he got Trump across the finish line, he was getting a job. I know how they all... It's only a handful of true MAGAs. But that being said, that was just saying. So I showed you they're going to start running the other way. If 2026 doesn't come out of the box and people don't have a better feeling towards affordability, just saying, there'll be some smalls take place in the world of MAGA just around right after Santa Claus leaves. It won't take long. Now, I want to show you something here before we get into too much fake MAGA this morning. She says she's not running for governor. Give me this one right here before we go to break. I want to talk about this just for a minute. Number 42. Now, I know I don't want, right? I don't want Indiana quarterback and NFL prospect Fernando Mendoza goes viral. I watched the end of that game. I absolutely love. I have not watched Indiana all year. All right. I've not watched Indiana all year long. And I wanted to watch them against Ohio. Are they for real? Are they for real? So give me number 110. And they are. Their defense, I think this is, I can give you other things on this right here. I do think Indiana deserved the top spot. I never get too upset to see, I don't want you upset out there if you're Ohio, but I never get too upset to see Ohio lose. Easy, right? Georgia, I thought Georgia might bump to number 2, but they didn't. I think they want Georgia to play Ole Miss is what they want. And Miami is in the ACC, all right? So Miami's in the ACC. I hated to see that Vanderbilt wasn't in. James Madison is going to be interesting. Alabama. Okay, so let me get this. I understood why Alabama got in. For all the argument, we'll do that throughout the week. We got plenty of time to talk college football. I actually understand why Alabama got in. I do. Alabama had negative yards. I mean, Georgia's defense in the last 4 games. Wow. The thing will be is, can Kirby Smart get them healthy, prepare them with time off? That can be tough. But anyhow, Ole Miss, there's nothing, you never want to play a team that has determination like Ole Miss is going to with Tulane. But anyhow, Texas A&M, I'm not too upset. There's a lot of people that really get into college football. Now, I know this one, give me number 109 before I go to break. Right here, 109. A lot of people upset that Notre Dame is not in. Let me tell you exactly how I feel about this, all right? College football, there's so many things they have to work out, but you cannot have conference teams like Indiana, Ohio, Georgia, Alabama, the list goes on, the ACC. You cannot have conference teams playing for championship games while everybody's sitting at home and no one has or no one is in. Come here. We're getting ready to go to break. You can come up here. Let me finish up. You're getting fat. You're a little fat boy. They all remember when you were little. Now you're just, oh, yes. I know. Just don't go to loving me just because I told you you're a real fat boy. This is Charlie. Now, they all have conference games. They all have conference championship. Notre Dame, as far as I'm concerned, if you're out there and you're a Notre Dame fan, your basketball's in the ACC, right? Is it in the ACC? Is your baseball? Put your team. Now, Charlie, close your little ear flaps. Notre Dame's coach, as soon as they didn't make it in, he took Notre Dame out of any bowl games. We're not playing anything. If we're not playing for a championship, we're not playing anything. You know what, Notre Dame? Boom. Put yourself in a conference. Play conference teams. Don't go out there and pick and choose who you want to play and when you want to play them. Get in a conference. Go to a conference championship. Go to the Big Ten. Play Ohio for the conference champ. Play Indiana. Play Michigan, whatever. But you know what you can do? You can play with tiddlywinks if you knew what that was. You can play jacks. Yes. You can roll the dice in the locker room because you're not playing any more football this year. Take a break. Hi, Charlie. Hi, Charlie. Hi, Charlie. Hi.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959.
Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done.
Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
Hold on. Oh, okay. I couldn't figure that out. They must have changed the name. I'll figure that out later. Hi, I'm good to be back. How are you, Diane? I'm good. How are you? Hey, Charlie, did you meet Charlie? Look, when we got Charlie, Charlie's not even a year old. He's like 11 months, okay? He's like 1 month from being a year old. And when I got Charlie, Charlie was this big, right? And Charlie was supposed to get 10 pounds. That's it. I have to keep everything shut. He's up to 14. I mean, I go in the kitchen. I look down. There he is. Get a piece of cheese. There he is. I mean, he doesn't like it because I call him chubby, but he is. He is chubby. Now, before we go to the Georgia Hour, let me see. I think I just sent you 2 more pictures, Diane, for the Georgia Hour. That's a couple more. Now, I'm looking through here. I want to make sure we go over some things. So, state AI. Now, are you on board? And before we go, because I'm going to do it in, remember, MTG is the 14th district representative. So the Georgia Hour is more Georgia MTG right now. So you might want to stick around for the Georgia Hour. But that being said, are you America First? Are you MAGA? Are you, I have my Trump pin on. I've got it on right here. I got my Trump watch. But I have said for the longest time, there's Make America Great Again. And I've played that for you from Ronald Reagan. Okay. There's Make America Great Again. Now, MAGA, give me video 4.
President Trump and distanced herself from the MAGA brand. After President Trump called me a traitor, I got a pipe bomb threat on my house, and then I got several direct death threats on my son.
On your son?
On my son.
You say the president put your life in danger. You blame him. You say he fueled a hotbed of threats against me, and that you blame him for the threats against your son.
The subject line for the direct death threats on my son was his words, Marjorie Trader Greene. Those are death threats directly fueled by President Trump. I told him, I told J.D. Vance, I told them all, sent those directly to them.
Response?
J.D. Vance replied back to me, we'll look into it. I got response back from President Trump that I will keep private, but it wasn't very nice.
Give us a hint of what the president said.
It was extremely unkind.
I'm going to ask you about this almost solid support he has among Republicans in Congress. Is there in that support fear? Does the support come about because they're afraid that they'll get death threats?
I think they're terrified to step out of line and get a nasty Truth Social post on them. Yes.
And they're watching what happened to you?
Yes.
Behind the scenes, do they talk differently?
Yes.
How?
Oh, it would shock people.
Well, let's shock people.
Okay. I watched many of my colleagues go from making fun of him, making fun of how he talks, making fun of me constantly for supporting him, to when he won the primary in 2024, they all started, excuse my language, Leslie, kissing his ass and decided to put on a MAGA hat for the first time.
Are you MAGA?
I am America First.
And that's not the same as MAGA.
MAGA is President Trump's phrase. That's his political policies. I call myself America First.
But you're not saying you're MAGA.
I'm America First. I think
So, are you MAGA? Are you America First? Well, I mean, I have said this over and over. There's been such division. There's such a divide. It doesn't matter. I'm not getting into Tucker and Laura Loomer and Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes. There is an enormous divide in this country. And here you go, number 155. Right here, 155. As the architect of the MAGA movement. Now, MAGA is not the same. I've told you that. MAGA, you say MAGA, that's an acronym, but MAGA movement, President Trump will always put America first. Make America Great Again is actually different than MAGA. Yes, it is. And she's America First. I'm just saying. So it's going to be very quick. A lot of people are going to start deciding where they stand. 127. Now, this lady here, Omar, they have worked with her. She's gone on multiple shows. They set her down and worked with her. Last week, every show she went on last week, or every interview, Donald Trump was a racist, a bigot that's, calling her people garbage. But now they have her, they took her in and said, no, that's not playing. People are upset in Minnesota. Number 30. Okay. People are upset across the country. And you can't just yell. Oh, wait a minute. That's not the one I wanted. Sorry, Diane. Yeah, number 30. Did I say? Yeah, 30. That should be 30. You might have heard 130 or something, right? So the country is saying, no, we're not okay with this. And what is happening in Somalia, and I want to play this one before we go, Dr. Oz, before we go to the Georgia Hour, video 11.
It's true. A Somali fraud ring in Minnesota stole over $1 billion from Medicaid. How did this happen? Well, Medicaid programs are run by the states, which in Minnesota means the Tim Walz administration. Governor Walz and the state's other Democrats rely on Somali votes to get elected, so they decided to look the other way because they were afraid of, quote-unquote, political backlash. Don't take my word for it. That's what a Somali-American fraud investigator told the New York Times. When these scammers realized that nobody was guarding the cash register, they went gangbusters. One program designed to provide housing stabilization assistance to patients ballooned to $104 million, when 4 years ago it was projected to cost only $2.6 million. Some of these taxpayer funds may have even ended up in the hands of a Somalian terrorist group. Scary stuff. When CMS became aware of the housing program situation, Minnesota insisted it could clean up its own mess. A few months ago, it admitted it could not. So we stepped in to shut down the fraud-infested housing initiative. Today, we're taking action on more than a dozen other programs, which I've outlined in the post below. Our message to Walz is clear. Either fix this in 60 days or start looking under your couch for spare change, because we are done footing the bill for your incompetence. This administration will never stop fighting to protect the vulnerable Americans who rely on these programs and the taxpayers who fund them. We're going to crush waste, fraud, and abuse.
Now, we know all too well, give me number 55. We know all too well waste, fraud, and abuse is holy water to the deep state, corporate, corrupt media. Seriously, to Democrats, waste, fraud, and abuse is like sprinkling holy water on these people. We know that. They can't take it. This message gets out nowhere. I mean, even Fox, well, they did 2 stories on it this morning, and they did one the other day. Look, I watch Fox News Sunday, all the propaganda shows. This morning, ABC, list goes on. No. They waste, fraud, and abuse $1 billion. Now, I just wanted to show you the 7 easiest countries to move to for immigrants. Okay. Canada is who is number 1? I'll give you number 1 right here. 54. 7 easiest countries. Number 54. Canada. Yes, Canada. Now, most countries around the world, or some countries, many, in their immigration policies, you have to assimilate. There's laws that say you have to assimilate. So they keep calling it Somali American community. Now, first of all, give me this down, number 56. They send them to places like us. This is the reason we take the money, right? Yes, the reason we take the money. Arab nations reject Trump's suggestion to relocate Palestinians from Gaza. The UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, they're absolutely spotless cities. They're absolutely most beautiful, spotless, no trash cities. Everybody's wealthy countries. They don't take anybody in. You can't just go there and live. But we take anyone, right? So we got to get ready here for the George Hour. Take that down. So when they keep telling you the Somali community, give me number 127. Somali Americans, don't forget, Minnesota's right up there at Canada. They do. We talk about the southern border all the time. Canada has such relaxed rules of coming in. They go up there and somehow they drift across the northern border. And we have a complete, 84,000 Somalis in Minnesota? But they're Somali Americans. These communities, we're supposed to allow them. Now, let me just say this. These people are not American Indians, right? They're not. Look, that's a whole different story, but we have reservations around the country that's Indian land, that's self-governed, not these damn communities as they call them. I'm so tired of that. All right, I've only got a couple minutes. Let's see, I got to make sure I have. All right, talked about that. Number 47, Zoran Mondani is showing illegals. He put out a self-help. Don't let them knock on your door. Here are all of your rights. Can't make that up. Here's all of your rights. Number 80, okay? This is going to upset a lot of people. It is. I mean, it's going to upset a lot of people. Walmart drone deliveries. Now, I'm going to tell you, Woodstock and Cherokee. This is in the Woodstock, Cherokee County area. They're going to start there, and there's others. I told my son this yesterday. He's like, Dad, I can't believe you say stuff like that. I'm just saying, right? Just saying. I mean, I'm looking at rednecks to use this for target practice. I'm just telling you, I'm looking for rednecks to use this as target practice. We don't want to go without 123. Don't forget, Sarah Beckstorm was murdered. West Virginia National Guard from Somerville, West Virginia. God bless her family going into these holidays without their 20-year-old daughter murdered in 122. A guy yelling Allah Akbar that came in. Don't forget, number 122. This is Andrew Wolf. Now, he is recovering. They say that he's coming, or his doctors say that he's coming along very well. Number 10, don't forget, Allah Akbar, he yelled. Afghanistan, CIA, just like that, not talking about it anymore. This is the boat, or the plane. Remember how many of these plane loads came over, unvetted, released in this country? But God forbid we go look for them. No, can't do that. And Sunday, David Sachs, where's it at? I want to do this because there will probably be an interest rate reduction. And on the Sunday show, here he is, 103, 104. There you go. Congress suggests to keep up with regulation amid AI boom. Don't forget, that's David Sachs. He is the 104. He is the White House AI and crypto czar. He's very close to, as you can see, Zuckerberg and the rest. Give me, let's see, video 5.
Entrepreneur and tech investor David Sachs as his AI and cryptocurrency czar.
It's really the job of government to enable the private sector and get the red tape out of the way.
And the president pressuring Republicans in Congress to pass legislation prohibiting states and local governments from regulating artificial intelligence in any way. Warning over-regulation is threatening to undermine this growth engine. Some in the president's party pushing back.
I think this is a state and local issue.
Why do you think the president adopted that position?
Probably donors. Maybe he just thinks it's the best way to get AI going in this country.
I know that no industry.
Thomas Massey, AI, donors. So we're going to give you, here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you a great deal, 85. We're going to give you a great deal on the fat shot, right? And we're going to throw you a curveball because here's number 86. We want you to look over here at Frank Luntz's hair. It's new and improved, while we tell you that, hey, you know what? We're going to take your statehood away. When they federalize AI and regulate it through the federal government and take all of your state rights away, they will take away your, you can go to the meetings and fight against the data centers. You can go fight against increased electricity needs that's going to raise your rates. You can go fight against anything, and the federal government will control it, and you will no longer have a state. State rights are just, AI is what will totally evaporate state rights. Give me number 114. I just want to say God bless each and every one of you that are weather extremes from coast to coast. Now, I want you to look at that. I want to thank God this morning. I want to give a prayer to all my friends having to do this, but I thank God for no longer having to look for my ice scraper. That's right. No longer starting the car 30 minutes before I go anywhere, turning on the rear front defroster, getting the ice scraper out, no longer looking for my shovel. And here's what I really want to say. Looking at people shoveling their parking space, and when they come back, somebody else is in it. We'll talk about that later. Take a break. We're going to be back at 10 o'clock with the Georgia Hour.
Days Chevrolet in Jasper. It's last call. Your last chance to save $11,500 off Silverado 1500 and $9,000 off Silverado 2500 crew cabs. Don't miss this last call and save $11,500 off Silverado 1500 and $9,000 off Silverado 2500 crew cabs at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, it's last call. Your last chance to save $11,500 off Silverado 1500 and $9,000 off Silverado 2500 crew cabs. Don't miss this last call and save $11,500 off Silverado 1500 and $9,000 off Silverado 2500 crew cabs at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
All right, folks, welcome this Monday morning, 12/8/2025, the Georgia Hour. The Georgia Hour. I'm your host, BKP, and this segment of the Georgia Hour is brought to you by Palmolive Soap. Put your hand. No, that's not. It's not. It's not really. It's not really. Remember Madge? Was it Madge? Your fingers are soaking in palm olive. I know. It's easy, folks. I mean, come on. Lighten up. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching the Georgia Hour, brought to you by voiceofruralamerica.com. Good morning, Diane. Now, before we really roll things out, I'm going to lay a couple things out we're going to talk about this morning. Give me number 14. Now, this is the 10th district. We have an interesting week ahead of us. This is the 10th district candidate for the Republican primary. Now, I used to, and I'm going to tell you this, number 14. Give me number 14. Diane's like, I know you don't want the number you just called. She's sitting in there like, I know you don't want this. When are you going to get your correct? So there you go. State lawmaker Houston Gaines explains why he's running for Congress. Now, what I would like to have explained to me, and we'll go a little further in depth, why he got just a Houston Gaines, you are cleared for Congress. Yes. We are in the tower here. Brian and Marty Kemp. And Houston, you are cleared for Congress. We have cleared the way in the 10th district over there in Athens. And that's who. Brian Kemp, the governor of Georgia. Marty Kemp, the governor of Georgia. The governoress of Georgia. Women, I mean, I can't believe any woman is out there saying, well, we should have a woman governor. You have a woman governor. I mean, come on, right? But I can't get stuck here. But Brian and Marty Kemp decided this is who their member of Congress to represent them over in Athens. This is who it will be, Houston Gaines. There's a wide open. Mike Collins is running for Senate. It's wide open, and boom. But move over to the 1st district. What is there, 5 or 6 Republicans and 3 or 4 Democrats, or 5 or 6 Republicans? And then go to the 14th district. Every time I blink, boom, 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 there's a new candidate in the 14th, but not in the 10th. We will talk about that later. Now, I saw something. I noticed something. I seen something. I see it from here about the 14th district and the special election. I'm going to explain something. I actually had a lawmaker say, man, we need MTG to resign. You understand the actual date is not official for the election until her official resignation takes place, and that's not until the 5th. A lawmaker sent me a message, said, we need MTG to resign on this day, right? So that way, the special election and the election will all be on the same day. I shall explain. I'm going to explain to you today, take that down. I'm going to explain very nicely how Georgia lawmakers do not want to correct our elections. I'm going to explain it very clear. I want to make it very clear. Now, some of you are going to agree, disagree, but they have no interest in cleaning up our elections. None. Well, I was somewhere the other day and I heard so-and-so speak and they said, go team, go, paper ballots. No, that's not it. I will explain. So now, over the weekend, number 26, where it's the Georgia Hour. This is Gunner Stockton, right? Georgia did some house cleaning on none other than Alabama. And there you go. Georgia did some house cleaning. 36. If you were not here earlier this morning, and I won't waste too much time, I was at the game. I was at the game. Georgia, Alabama. My son sent me a message Friday about 6:30 that afternoon and said, Dad, you want to go down tomorrow and watch Gunner Stockton carve up Alabama? I said, sure. So I went to the game. I really enjoyed it. I really did. Give me number 37, and I won't take too much more of your time. And then we'll go right into, give me this one here, right? 110. Now, I said this on the earlier program, but considering this is the Georgia Hour right here, these are the playoffs. Georgia will face, after the bye, Ole Miss or Tulane, and Miami will face Ohio. Miami or Texas A&M. So you have the brackets there, and looking forward to that. I'd like to see Georgia play Ohio. I really would. Now, that being said, take that down. Now, we're going to talk about this. Number one, there is a brewing in Georgia. There is a coming, and I'm gonna lay a couple parts out. Tell me what you think. We're going to talk about MTG, right? But there is a storm brewing, a coup coming, trouble in paradise. I don't know what the final outcome will be, but it's in the Georgia GOP Inc. Now, we have, what was that young man's name? What was his name? Jaquan. Jaquan is out. Blueberry number 3. Is he still in? I mean, I know there's been some calls for Blueberry. Brad Barnes, special advisor to the chairman on a committee, to be removed. We'll talk about that. It's coming. Now, I just want to say this. As you well know, number 14, there is basically no primary in the 10th district. I'm going to do this very quick because we're going to talk about Ohio just for a minute. All right. Number 9. Now, I'm going to show you how lawmakers, this is the 14th district, and you can go there, and this is some details on the election, special election. So, money's no object. Now, when you go in to vote, now, I'm not voter GA, so I'm not going to do a Garland Favorito PowerPoint. I'm not Field Cersei, and I love Field. He's a great guy, but Field starts talking, and he quotes the law and GC this and GAC. He's got it down pat. I'm not going to do any of that. They're great people. Clay Parikh, he shows you exactly what happened with the encryption codes. Not doing any of that. I'm going to keep it very simple and explain to you there's no interest in Georgia lawmakers in correcting the election. Why, I don't know. So we have a special election. Money is no object. Now, counties in the state of Georgia pay for our elections. They pay for them. Your county, go to your county, all right? And every year when they do their budget, they have to put in for the election. They have to put in the county's budget, your budget, a runoff. They have to have a runoff in there. Then they have to have the November election. Then they have to have a runoff in there. And then they have to have any special election whatsoever. There's no state or federal funding that comes down for the elections. So if there's a special election, it's just like right now in Cherokee County, that state house special election, right? Is it 121? They have to pay for it. Now, I want to be careful on this one because the lady that represented this district, she died. So obviously, but people resign or go on to want to run for higher office, they have to pay for it. So money's no problem in Georgia. Seriously, they got plenty of yours. So your county has to set up. Now, you have a certain amount of registered voters in your county. Whether you believe it or not, when you have registered voters in your county district, you have to set up as though every voter that's registered would show up and you can handle it. So we have all this early voting, right? You still have to set up your precincts. So you got all the early voting. I think you're in a small county. We'll go with a small county with 12 precincts. Don't get mad. I know if you're out there in Gwinnett and you're out there in those counties and you're laughing like, you guys have 12 precincts? We got 497, 11, 32, and 18. I know some of you big, like Gwinnett, guys are enormous. But think of it on this level. If you've got 150 precincts in your county, no matter how many early votes are launched, you do realize you have to set up 118 precincts for election day. That's right. You have to have election day. And in the runoff, you got special, you've got early voting, and then you have to set them up again, all 118. And you have to anticipate everybody can come vote. And you have to have the poll watchers. So we have this election season in Georgia. I'm going to show you something. We're going to get to the other stuff, Marjorie Taylor Greene. We have an election season. Now, every time someone goes in to vote early in Georgia, we got that little card. They hand you that little card. They put the little card in the poll pad, electronic poll pad, and they put your driver's license up and scan. So that's you, that electronic card, You take that card, you go vote, you give that card back, you slide it in there, and the guy says, you're voter number 93 today. You see that card that's in here, the poll pad, when you scan, knows it's you, knows how you voted. Your vote's supposed to be private. Really, they know how you voted. They know when you voted, what time you voted, what day you voted. Now, we'll get into that a little deeper on another day. But I'm going to show you some quick things. Now, in the 14th district, they have to go and set up the entire 14th district. Every county has to set up the entire 14th district for early voting in the special election in the 14th. Yes. Then they have to have their early voting. Then they have to go set up every precinct of every county on election day, right? Again. And then they have to have the runoff. And the runoff, they have to set up, once again, in the runoff, they've got to set up early voting. Then, on the runoff date, they have to set up every single precinct, every precinct. They have to set up every one. Right? Every one. You have to by law. You have to anticipate. That's the runoff. Look at that cost. Now, in the 14th district, those are 2 elections, and that election, and it's a single primary. That election does what? Only fills the term of 1 year that MTG is leaving open. Right? Jungle primary. Now, this is where it gets confusing. I mean, Georgia does not want, they do not want to fix elections. We've been down this road. We've had since 2020, we'll just go 2020, nothing. All right? So, after this is done, then a jungle primary does not have a primary. Jungle election called there's no primary. Everybody can go. All 10 candidates, Republican Party, the Grand Poobah Party, the Moose Lodge Party, Democrat Party, no matter who you are, everyone's there. Top 2 vote getters going to runoff. Yes. A jungle primary benefits a Democrat. Now you look at the Senate race we had in Cherokee County. There was times when, although Dickerson is the senator now, state senator, and he won, right? But Republican vote was so diluted that the Democrat got in the runoff. So jungle primaries are very beneficial to the Democrats in red districts. This is their chance, right? I'm serious. Go ahead and put this up right here. I want this one right here, Diane. Give me number 160. Democrats score big. This is Bluestein. Democrats scored a string of victories in Georgia's run off your elections. Now, let's stay in the 14th. Now, the next election is actually a primary. A primary. And the primary for the 14th, that'll be Republican and Democrat primary. Then, whoever wins the primary runs against each other. Or they may be a runoff again. So this thing's so convoluted, right?
You didn't send me 160.
Hang tight. It says...
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, that's okay. I forgot to tell you. When I send them over in the middle of the show, my apology to you, because I was supposed to tell you. But I'll tell you what I'm getting ready to do. I was getting ready to call 161, and it doesn't look like I sent that one. Now, thank you, Diane. 160. Whenever you get it there. I'm supposed to tell her if during the show I send one over so it's not missing. And so I'm going to take the blame for that. Now, so let me show you quickly where Republicans do not care in Georgia. So SB 202. Now, I'm going to get pushback here. I'm going to get argument. All right. I'm tired of the runoff. I think there's only like Georgia, Louisiana, and one other state. I'm not for sure the other state, if there is. Now, I am tired of the runoff, and I'm tired of them not fixing our elections. Period. 2020 takes place. 2020 takes place. And I go down to the Capitol, and they're starting to talk about nuts and bolts of SB 202. So I drive to the Capitol, SB 202, right? And I go to Speaker David Ralston's office and knock on the door. Is the speaker available? So I got in Speaker David Ralston's office. I'm sitting there. They're working on SB 202. And I said, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to talk to you about elections and what you're trying to do with SB 202. I said, we got to fix the elections. He said, what's your recommendation? I said, well, first and foremost, we have to get rid of the jungle primary. That has to go. That has to go. He said, well, I really don't disagree with you there. And I said, but in order to do that, we have to close our primaries. He said, and I said, we have to close our primaries and we got to get rid of the runoff. The runoff is a drain. Now, the runoff is set up to make sure they get their person in. That's what it's set up for. And I'll go in detail on another day because I got two other stories. I said, Mr. Speaker, we got to close the primaries, right? We've got to go to plurality. And I'm going to show you here, plurality. And, the jungle primaries. Well, I don't disagree with you. And this is what sent me over the edge this weekend. I don't disagree with you because I'm getting all kinds of messages. How does the 14th work? And why are we doing this? And you have to pay for it. And he said to me, you know what? I'm not against closing the primary, but let me ask you a question. Where do independent voters go? What? Yeah, where do the independent voters go? Because I don't. So this weekend, a lawmaker sent me a message and said, we need to try to talk Marjorie Taylor Greene and not retiring yet. And I said, we need to close the primaries. This is BS. Wasn't exactly what I said. We need to close our primaries. This is BS. And this individual typed back and said, okay, but where do the swing voters go? And I actually did. I typed back. I said, that's the same bullshit David Ralston asked me. They're all set up. It's all a thing. They don't want to fix your elections. Now, I'm going to tell you something. They have a closed primary in Pennsylvania. They have closed primaries in Pennsylvania. Now, at the current time, Pennsylvania has a Republican as a Democrat governor. So do we, more or less. But they do. They have a Pennsylvania has closed primaries. They happen to have 2 U.S. Republican senators, and Trump won in Pennsylvania. Now, I'm not saying that's going to continue, but here's the one that gets me. I've had argument after argument. When I say argument, I want to make it nicer, about plurality. And what is plurality? I'll give it to you right here. Give me number 61. This is Ohio. All right. And this is why I know they don't want to fix your elections and they lie. Now, number 61, J.D. Vance. You see, in the Republican primary, Ohio uses plurality. Whoever got the most, that's who's on the ballot. Now, J.D. Vance is your vice president. Okay? They don't have a runoff. So when this primary, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Republican candidates were on the ballot. There was no runoff in Ohio. There was no 30 days later. None of that took place, right? 62. Trump-backed J.D. Vance wins Senate seat in Ohio over Democrat Tim Ryan. Now, I know this is the Georgia Hour, but I'm going to show you this. Number 63, a mole hunt, a secret website, and Peter Thiel's Big Risk, how J.D. Vance won his primary. Now, keep in mind, 64, I'll come back to this. Keep in mind, J.D. Vance only got elected in Ohio in 2022. Yes, little side note we'll come back to, 64. But he's vice president of the United States. Yes, 2022 U.S. Senate race in Ohio was J.D. Vance's first. It was his very first political campaign. That's a story for another day, maybe another time. But they use in Ohio plurality. Now, does that work out for Republicans? 65. This is Ohio. We're supposed to be in the South, Georgia. We're supposed to be ruby red. We have totally screwed that up, and they don't want to fix the elections. I can show you day in and day out. Here's the current leadership in Ohio. I'm not a Mike DeWine fan, but Republican, right? President of the state Senate. President of the state Senate. President, Speaker of the House. Republicans, right? Now, give me number 66. Ohio party control. Look at how long Republicans have had control of the Ohio House and Senate. The governor's house, Senate, and House. So don't let them tell you that plurality doesn't work. I'm for and stop the jungle primary and stop crying that, oh, well, where will the independents go? It's garbage. It's all lies to you. They do not want, in no way whatsoever, do they want to fix elections in Georgia. It's not, they don't want to. They're not interested. It's all campaign stunt speeches. I can take you to state after state where Republicans, I get, oh no, we like our take that down. We like our 50 plus one state. Okay. It's costing a fortune. And the only reason they go to 50 plus one is so in case their candidate doesn't get over the top, they can have a runoff and get their candidate in. We'll make a lot more sense out of that later. Now, so I just want to show you this with the Georgia GOP quickly. Number 4, right? And this is something you need to start asking questions. There's a coup coming. I don't know exactly what's happening. I smell the winds of manure out there. I smell it. Something's not right. I watch everybody's post. Now, here is where Jaquan got caught, apparently in a sting operation. So, without going too far into debt on that one, without going too deep, give me number 74. The AJC has done a very deep dive into the individual and the group that put together the sting on Jaquan. Now, I don't know. I'm not an attorney. I don't even play one on TV. I don't know all the legal fallout. But I know this was not a police sting. I know this group apparently that staged this has only been doing it a couple weeks. That's what they said. I don't know if you can legally even go on the internet and claim to be someone you're not, or claim to have an age or be of an age. I don't know. But this right here, now, it does look as though by text messages and his reaction saying he's only 17, it does look as though he was trying to meet up with a 14-year-old boy. It does look that way. But this is some trouble. This is definitely some trouble that the Georgia GOP Inc. did not want right now. And something doesn't add up. I just think he got set up. But no, it's not okay to have a pedophile in the organization. It's not. But I don't know. You could tell me. But a 19-year-old boy can have a relationship with a 14-year-old girl with parental consent in Georgia. I'm not for sure. I don't know. I do not. I'm looking right now. I don't know all those laws. So if gay is okay, can a 19-year-old boy have a relationship with a 14-year-old boy? I don't know. Legally, I can't even look at. Nothing about this seems okay to me, so I'm not making it okay. But immediately, if he's gay, Josh McCoon, the chair of the Georgia GOP, within an hour asked him to resign, is what's out there. So he was told, get out. If he is gay, the little black kid, if he is gay, the gay little black kid was told, get out in an hour. That's all I'm saying. We heard you want to meet up with a 14-year-old boy at the swing sets. Okay. Now, you have the Georgia Republican Party, the other storm brewing. Number 7, you have First Liberty Building and Loan, and it's brewing, right? And here you have, this is the albino rhino. Hold on to that one. Give me number 22. I'm going to show you everything swirling around the Georgia GOP Inc. I've asked for Josh McCoon's resignation, but he may be running for the door very soon. Like, let me the hell out of this place. So the ethics hearing, they had an ethics hearing, First Liberty Building and Loan, and we have last week, we know we have the, where's it at here? We have the GRA, which just had their convention. You can't make any of this up in Georgia. I told someone asked me yesterday why this is happening, and I'm going to explain in a minute. The AJC, right? And we're not. So give me number 32. Now remember, last week, the Georgia GOP, their friends, remember the GRA and the GRA PAC, right? Here's Catherine Bernard, the attorney for the GRA, presenting to the Ethics Commission, who voted unanimously to tie the two together. So we have the GRA PAC and the GRA GRA PAC is accused of 61 violations, not filing any reports. They didn't have to. GRA is trying to say that's not us, but the commission says it is. So this is another storm brewing, right? I'm going to give you the last one. This is the last one. It's very interesting. I'm going to tie something new to it. So give me number 7. This is number 7. That's the albino rhino, Brant Frost V. GRA PAC. GRA is now tied together, which is going to probably tie to First Liberty Building and Loan, which will end up as having ties to the Georgia GOP Inc. So their assistant secretary is gone because allegedly he's gay and he's looking for 14-year-old boys. Josh McCoon, chairman of the Georgia GOP, gets him out of there. Boom! 1 hour. Gone. Then you have the GRA PAC, the GRA, which Josh was a member for years. All right? And you got First Liberty Building and Loan. You got the albino rhino. All those ties are going to come together and probably pull a string tight around the Georgia GOP's neck. They're going to be like, whoa, that's 2. Now, here's where there's a little mystery. So, all of a sudden, do you know what a groper is? Is it not a groper like groper or grouper. There's you got your grouper sandwich. I like a good grouper sandwich. Yes, I do. I like a good fish and chips. Number 3. Now you got the number 3. You got blueberry. Now this kid here, Bram Barnes. I'm going to show you. It's all coming together. This little kid, Brad Barnes, he's not a bad kid, all right? But he bought into Sally Grubhub and Josh McCoon, and he became a tag-along, and he carried their books and whatever they needed on the campaign trail. And Josh created an advisory board. Yes, he created an advisory board, and the Georgia GOP Inc. has turned over their social media to the children's. Yeah, Charlie Kirk, Charlie's kids. Yeah, it's been turned over. They just gave any one of these kids access, and I'm sorry to call them kids, they're young adults. They gave these young adults, the children's, right? Charlie's kids, access, right? And who's running the place? We don't know. So the Georgia GOP Inc. put out that they were happy to announce that Josh McCoon had a new personal advisor, Blueberry, as we call him, Brad Barnes. Someone wants rid of him and wants to use him, Josh McCoon. I have right here. And the AJC has done several articles. So what happened here, 159, what happened here is Debbie Dunaster got involved. That's not 159. That's not 159. That can't be. Thank you. Are you trying to just throw me off? My train? You know my train of thought is easy to jump the tracks. Thank you, Diane. So, now Debbie Dunaster, in my opinion, gets Bill Simons to write this full article, because he did, about Brad Barnes and his anti-Semitic and what they call racist Brad Barnes Blueberry. And it makes its way over to Greg Bluestein at the AJC. And Greg Bluestein and the AJC go after Brad Barnes, special advisor. And then, see, Greg Bluestein one of Georgia's, this was all a setup. Everything's a setup. The Georgia GOP, right? So Greg Bluestein, one of Georgia Republican National Committee members, calls for the state GOP to cut ties with the special advisor with a history of hateful remarks. Now, who was that? That's Jason Thompson. Jason Thompson, he is the Georgia GOP National Committee man. And I understand he's also the chair of the Republican National Lawyers Association. Yes, the Republican Party National Lawyers Association. I understand he chairs that. Now, so Brad Barnes should step down and be removed. Jason Thompson, Republican National Committee man for Georgia. Well, I guess while rumor is that Debbie Dooley was walking their dog that afternoon, the Doonaster, it got to her. It's not like she knows Bill Simons. It's not like Bill Simons wrote an article. Debbie may have. It's not like Debbie sent it to the AJC. Why is she trying to take down Josh McCoon? Sent it to the AJC. Greg Bluestein ran an article with her quote. What the hell? Because I'm going somewhere with this. And then Bluestein writes an article, and Thompson says Brad Barnes should step down and be removed. Well, guess who did not get that message? Josh McCown. Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, there's Josh McCown didn't get the message. So what is Jason Thompson trying to pull a coup? Now, I will tell you this, that at the White House this weekend was big Christmas. A lot of people go. And the Republican National Lawyers Association hosted a lot of people from Georgia. The Doonaster was there. Jason Thompson. Jason Thompson's wife, Julianne Thompson. Okay, nothing wrong with that. But then, while the mice are away, you can't make this up. Hold on, I got it here somewhere, right? Now, Debbie writes, now this is on November 21st, she writes, Brad Barnes needs to be removed as special advisor to the Georgia GOP chairman. Someone on the Georgia GOP executive committee is doing the right thing by speaking up. Now, why is she carrying Jason Thompson's water all of a sudden, right? I am very disappointed in other members. That could be Josh McCoon of the executive board failing to condemn Brad. This is all set up, okay, whether you like the blueberry or not. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Yeah, it really gets interesting here. So, number 79, I want you to look at this, okay? You can't make any of this stuff. They're exploding from within. Boy, I'm giving it. That's Orion Roy, and he's one of Charlie's kids, okay? He's a nice young man. I just, he's a nice young man. Get over it, will you? That's one of Charlie's kids, one of the children's. Whether you're a Panther, Owl, Jacket, Yellow Jacket, or a Blazer, we're all saying go Dogs. Had a great launch for Turning Point Action Coalitions, Gen Z Coalition in Midtown yesterday. The future of Gen Z is bright. Well, they had a big party. Turning Point Coalitions, right? Now, at the top, as you can see, the Georgia GOP reposted this. If you go to their X, they reposted it, right? And I'm glad to see the children's getting together. I think the children should get together. It's great. The future of the country. The children's, right? So I thought I would go through those pictures. And I'll be damned. Number 78. I'll be damned. I'll be damned. Right there in the front row. I mean, cutting the way. Almost like Rudolph leading the sleigh. That is Blueberry. Blueberry's right there with the boys. Let me see. That's a bunch of damn white people, ain't it? Let's see. There's a brother back there. There's one brother back there. It looks like a sister there. Not for sure. Oh my God. How racist could he be? Yep, Blueberry. That's him right in the front. Right in the front. So Jason Thompson wants him gone. Debbie Dooley wants him gone. Jaquan is gone. The GRA has exploded, whether you want to believe that or not. They've exploded. First Liberty Building and Loan, if you're involved in a $140 million Ponzi scheme, you don't say, poof, you're not allowed to say a word because the Frost are still involved. What in the hell? Now, you ready for the finish on this? So somebody called me up and said, let's go. Look at that. Damn. There he is. You recognize him? Let's see. Keep that one available. Number 3. See if you can recognize this guy. Number 3. And then go back here. Now this would be Blueberry as you know him. Now go back. Okay. Yep. That's him. How did we get here? And then go back to 79. That's Charlie's kids, right? That's Charlie's kids. And Brad Barnes is still one of Charlie's kids. There you go. The Georgia GOP reposted it. Had a great launch for Turning Point Action Coalitions. Gen Z, they reposted it. And it seems like it was just 159 when Debbie Dooley, the Do-Naster, as we know her, or Debbie Do-Shits, whichever one you want, the Do-Naster, wanted rid of Brad Barnes, and they spun it around to Greg Bluestein, and it landed at Jason Thompson as they all went to D.C. for the RNLA this weekend, the Friends. There's a coup. Yes, there's positioning. It is almost like to me, and this is where, oh my God, they're going to get so angry. It's almost like to me that they've already thrown in the towel for 2026, and they're trying to get in place for the next cycle. Or if Josh leaves, because this is, you can't make this up. All right, because now, number 74, I'm going to answer the question. This is where I answer the question. Somebody called me yesterday and said, why do you think the AJC is running the Jaquan? And I'm going to explain that to you right now. All right, this is why. The AJC is running the Jaquan. The AJC is running First Liberty Building and Loan. They never write anything to First Liberty Building and Loan, right? That they don't talk about the ties to the Georgia Republican Party, the influence in the Georgia Republican Party. So anything on the Ponzi scheme ties back to the Georgia Republican Party. Anything on the GRA PAC, close ties to the Georgia Republican Party. Allegedly gay black kid, 19 years old, a state officer, trying to solicit a 14-year-old boy ties right back to the Georgia Republican Party. Brad Barnes said something racist about the Jewish Mexican president, Scheinbaum, and he said hateful things that Debbie Dooley, maybe Debbie Dooley sent it to Greg Bluestein and then got a quote in there. Greg goes after him, and the AJC ties Brad Barnes back to the Republican Party. Now, here's the answer of all those ties as we pull the string tight. Nothing about the Democrat Party, nothing about the party. You remember when everything was Stacey Abrams? Remember that? You remember when everything was Nakia Williams, the chair of the Democrat Party, right? And it was blown up and it was a disaster and it was a mess. Remember that? Well, outside looking in, for those that are about to argue with me in very much depth, outside looking in, Democrat Party, the party looks like they hired Charlie Bailey. John Ossoff had a meeting with them. They hired Charlie Bailey. They cleaned their house up. It looks like the disarray of the Democrat Party, they, according to the AJC, there's never anything negative on the Democrat. When is the last time you picked up the AJC and anything negative about the Democrat Party in Georgia and Charlie Bailey? No, none whatsoever. It's like everything's methodically working. The AJC has been waiting for years to complete the turnaround and get Democrats in place. They are excited. This is not just a message here, number 160. This is excitement for the AJC. Democrats scored a string of victories in Georgia's off-year election, flipping long-held public service commission seats and ousting the GOP-backed Roswell mayor. But the results also expose the limits of appealing to the party's progressive flanks. This is cheering, and they're getting ready, and you never hear anything. The Republicans have run to the AJC like, hey, do you guys like us? And now it's imploding. Yes, it's totally imploding, and the AJC is doing their part. There's a coup. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene has resigned. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I have been saying, we'll talk about it a little deeper tomorrow, that I think, give me number 33, that she will run for governor, and she said she's not running. So let's go to video. Let me go here first. 33, there's Marjorie the other night. Let's go to video 15 from the 60 Minutes with Leslie Stahl last night.
People want to know, is this a true conversion, a true change of heart, or is it kind of a shrewd political calculation? A lot of people think you're doing it and that you, in a year or so, are going to run for some other office.
I have zero plans, zero desire to run for president. I would hate the Senate. I'm not running for governor. But Leslie, it doesn't matter how many times I say it. I'll have face-to-face conversations with people, and I'll flat out tell them to their face, and they won't believe me. And they're like, oh, yeah, sure. And they wink at me, and I'm like, okay. It's just like I don't know how to make it more clear.
You mean you just jumped off the cliff and you don't know where you're going to swim to?
Surprise, surprise, I'm not your politician with a whole itinerary of plans or political ambitions.
Now, I will tell you this, if she's not running for governor, okay, she throws a lot of barbs. Yes, a lot, if she's not running for governor. I've had people already say to me, do you believe her? the first thing they say is, "Do you believe her?" And I said, "Well, look, I'm going to take her at face value. I have said all along she's going to run for governor. I've said that. I'll look you right now. I've said that." Someone said, "Well, will you be shocked?" No, I wouldn't be shocked if she comes out and runs for governor. But right now, I'm going to take her at face value. And I will say, I don't know what is coming down the road. Now, she did say her son received a lot of death threats. And let's see which one is the... go ahead with video 12.
It wasn't a decision that I came to lightly, but it was a very important decision for myself and also for my family.
It was sudden.
It was sudden, but a lot of things changed. I stood for women who were raped when they were 14 years old, and the president that I fought for 5 years called me a traitor for that. And so that changed the landscape of things.
So I'm going to ask you straight out. Did you surrender? Did Donald Trump run you out of town?
No, not at all. Actually, Leslie, it's more like this, is I said in my statement, I will be no one's battered wife, and I meant it. And I won't allow the system to abuse me anymore.
You really feel abused. You know, he did come after you pretty hard. He called you a lunatic, I'm quoting. He said all she does is complain, complain, complain in caps, and then he called you a traitor. So he hit you, whacked you.
Yes, he did this in the same time span where President Trump brought in the al-Qaeda leader that was wanted by the U.S. government, who is now the president of Syria. Then within a week, he brought in the Crown Prince, MBS, who murdered an American journalist. And then he brought in the newly elected Democrat Socialist mayor of New York. That was the time span that he called me a traitor.
You decided not to stay and fight. You decided to give in.
After President Trump called me a traitor, I got a pipe bomb threat on my house, and then I got several direct death threats on my son.
On your son?
On my son.
On her son. She said, "I'm America first." They kept asking her, "Are you MAGA?" She said, "I'm America first." So that's going to be very interesting. The 14th district, we're going to talk about different candidates in that race. I spoke to 4 different candidates from Friday to now. If I get the green light, I'll let you know. I'm going to a special meeting this afternoon with a candidate running for a statewide office at 4:30. So we'll be back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. I have to go. I promised Todd Wood over at CDM I would be on his program with him at 11 o'clock. So I've got to jump and go there. I'll see you tomorrow morning. I will say it every day until we close. Merry Christmas. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m.